Call this meeting to order. The Town of Porter Stormwater Management Board, please rise and follow in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Karen, please.
Mr. Reynolds?
Here.
Mr. Lopez?
Here.
Mr. Hellmuth?
We'll move on to Eric couldn't make it. He had obligation with work today. Approval of the minutes, of the August 26th meeting. I look for a motion to approve the minutes,
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
and I'll second the motion. Any questions regarding the minutes as presented? Hearing none, all in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes approved. I'll move on to the claim docket. And look for a motion to approve the claim docket.
I motion to approve the claim docket.
I'll second the motion. Are there any questions regarding any of the claims? Hearing none, all in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Claim docket approved. Treasurer's report.
All right, the balance beginning of the month is $1,108,093.38. The revenue month today is $34,471.06. Disbursed this month to date is $18,948.53, leaving a current balance of $1,123,615.91.
Perfect. Thank you, Mitch. Move on to MS4 permit update. Mike, you said you had something from Megan?
Yeah, the Butler Fairman did the Public Works property inspection. They had no deficiencies, and she thanked them for their good housekeeping over there. Did a nice job. Butler Fairman will have probably Julia, at least Julia, if not Megan, will be at the Boo Bash at Hawthorne Park. We still have more than half of the stress balls left, and then we found some rain gauges upstairs. We're gonna give those away too, so we'll have a lot to give away.
So do you think we need to get anything else too, or?
They'll probably bring something related to stormwater themselves, their own stuff, but that's what we contributed towards it. So.
Well, we bought extra, the stress balls, didn't you, last year or something, so.
Yeah, we bought 500 and we gave away less than half last time, so we've got quite a whole box and probably 300 left. So I'm assuming we won't give all those away, but we'll have a few left over. But people like those, so that's good.
All right. Public comments. Is there anybody like to bring anything forth to the board? Going once, going twice? We'll close that portion of the meeting, move on. Reports, Michael, so we're on your updates then.
So I kind of emailed a long version of it. North Bailey project's going really well. I put in there some of the issues we had to deal with. Force main required almost twice as much to relocate on North Bailey as we thought it would. The two sewer laterals that we had in the bid that they were going to be time and material, so they could find them, cut them out, and replace those. That was all done the first couple days. So I noted all that in there. We adjusted a couple of structures, got them lower in the ground so they're not sticking up as far out of the people's yards. Basically, they're at the intersection of Fleming and South Bailey, where they're doing complete road closure to cut across there, put a conflict manhole in. and they'll start piping, excuse me, piping down Fleming, turn to, towards Waverly, and then we'll locate that force main and cross the street over there. That'll be the biggest closures, closing Waverly when we cross the street with the twin 18-inch piers. But otherwise, everything's going really well.
You
I
hybrid?
suddenly get like this dry spot. Excuse me. Okay, Carlson Corners, they were all the way to the Mineral Springs turn Monday, so I don't think they got anything done today, just because of the rain. As soon as they turn the corner, that's all the piping, then they'll be able to open the road periodically while they're working on the rest of the work. The only thing I wrote here that's probably not correctly worded, we revised the inlet castings. They had an inlet casting with a tall riser on it. They really don't work well in the ditch, so we switched that to a short riser, one-piece casting. They're similar to what Chesterton has on Porter Avenue right at 23rd Street, and you could see them on the side of the road. It's a better casting. I wrote less cost. What I meant to say was it's less cost with the item before that, which is eliminating an inlet entirely. Because they did send me, and I just got it yesterday, a change order for the castings in the amount of $1,664. But we're gonna save more than that when we get rid of the inlet. These are just a way better casting for catching debris and not per what was spec'd, so I'd really like to go ahead and change that. So they did give me this change order number 1 from Goff for $1,664, which you haven't seen, so I'm not walking over here so you can read it, but I just got that yesterday late. So it revises, this is a credit for the other castings, the new castings, adjustment labor. And then what I do for all these is I keep track like this, over, under.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just wrote this one, so again, you haven't seen it, I'll email that to you. I have one for North Bailey, keeps everything up to date, and then if we deduct the next one, we'll have a deduct for the inlet, and then we can have a negative change order on that one. With that, oh, that's a weird noise. That's what that one's gonna be, so if we could approve that, we can get the castings going. I just didn't get it in time enough to send it to everybody.
What number is that?
It's just number 1, change order number 1. But the other castings really don't work very well in the ditch, so. What we did in one location was we eliminated an inlet next to a manhole by sawing off the top of the manhole, putting the casting on top of that, and made the manhole the inlet, so we don't have duplicate structures next to each other in the ditch. It's kind of redundant. Everything's been going really well, except the road edges are not in great shape, and they weren't in good shape when we started. So once we're done, we'll evaluate those and see how we're gonna make an adjustment to the road edges. Probably have to scrape out a narrow piece and repave the edges. Probably not right away, but, because we have to find funding for that. And I'd rather do that in a paving project where I only pay 20%, and so would you, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Is that our road, that whole section?
yeah, so I don't know if we can squeeze it in the one we're doing for October or not. I'm trying to figure out if I can do that. Might be able to do that, but I'll let you know in another week. But, yeah, that's the first change order for that one. If that's okay, I'd like to get that okayed, so.
All right, so I look for a motion to approve change order number
1.
1 for Carlson Corners.
All motion to approve change order number 1 for Carlson Corners.
Okay, I'll second the motion. Any other questions for Mike regarding change order 1?
Nope.
So then, like you said, this is for 1664, then we should come back with
We should have a negative one for the inlet we took off.
so they should almost
Yeah,
wash or
should
whatever.
wash out.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Or we'll get a bigger credit than that. So.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, no further questions. All in favor of approval of change order 1 for Carlson Corners, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Change order approved.
Thank you. Small projects, we had Goff also doing, we finished 4 of those, we got billed for it, I think that was in the docket, it should have been in there. And that was in the amount of $36,927. 20th Street is the last one that remains, and they're getting ready to start on that. They were getting ready to start on it Monday, I don't know if they actually started on it. So when that's finished, that'll be the last one of the group of small projects. Across the street, we did this replacement over here. When they dug, replaced the inlet and everything, it shoved some of the dirt back. Once they were finished, John Seacrest noticed there was a void under the sidewalk. So there's 2 panels where there's still a void. I got 2 quotes. One's from Goff for tearing out and replacing the concrete. It's $1,150. And I got a quote from American Concrete Raising to basically, they drill holes in and they call it mud jacking, Mitch, if you'd never heard of that. And they
Nope.
pump sand underneath it, fill the void in, and that was $1,250. So,
Okay.
in a case of an emergency repair, you can get 2 quotes. I got 2 quotes, but it's $100 difference. Goff at $1,150, American Concrete Raising at $1,250. One is tear out and replace. So I don't think that's a highly trafficked sidewalk. So for $100, I don't see any reason not to tear them out and replace them.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would just need approval on their quote. For Goff Inc., $1,150. And again, I'll pass that down because Bill would have to sign it, but if you guys think that's okay, we'll get that done. To solve the problem of the void under those 2 panels, then that'll be done.
So if you don't mind me asking, like,
Please
how does that happen?
Well, the void originally was because the inlet collapsed and all the dirt washed into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they dug it up and they scoop in there and start digging, they shoved the dirt back and you couldn't see the void.
Ah,
And I
okay.
did all this work and got done, and then, guys went over to take the barricades down, and you can walk over and see it, there's a crack about that wide that's between the curb and the sidewalk, and the dirt settled back down underneath it, and there's a hole. You can see the hole underneath.
Okay.
So, just didn't get noticed, I guess, but I didn't see it either until, I was over there looking at it when they were digging, I never saw that void, so I guess everything settled back down and filled in the back, and now we have another hole, so.
Okay.
So they're just gonna cut and take out the 2 sections of sidewalk?
Just those little 2, they're marked right now, it's just kind of 2 angled pieces, they cut those out, put them back, done.
Fill it in, put some fill in.
Put some fill in, yeah.
Okay.
All right. I look for a motion to approve Goff for the repair of the sidewalk for $1,150.
I'll make the motion to approve. What would you call this?
Sidewalk repair.
So the sidewalk repair.
Sidewalk repair. I'll second the motion. Any other questions from Michael regarding it? Hearing none, all in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
And then the last item, I think, was the Marquette Road survey that Great Lakes Engineering is working on. They have it field surveyed. They're drafting the plan, the drawing, and then they're gonna stake all that. And that was because there's some property owners encroaching, and I need to show them where the right of way is to send them the letter to tell them to please move their encroaching items. There's 2 fences and a shed. And part 2 of our Carlson Corners project is to wrap around the corner with a ditch, and that stuff's in the way, so. They said I should have that, this week. End of this week, early next week, should be ready to go.
Okay.
So that's where we're at on that. That's everything in this part, so, for the next part, which is still me. So if you want, I'll segue into old business. Unless you got any other questions?
No,
I do have one comment. I want to greatly thank our public works people, John Seacrest in particular, and anybody who was with him the couple times they were out on North Bailey. They did some potholing with the vac truck, and they spent a lot of time out there beyond, what we normally would spend out there, and I really appreciate the work they did. They did a super nice job.
They're using that hydro excavator, right?
Yeah.
Not the vac truck.
No, I used the vac truck.
They're using the
Used the
vac
big
truck.
truck, yeah. And it worked wonderful, but they spent quite a bit of time on that, and they're very good at it, so I do wanna thank them for that. Cause that was a lot of extra time, and quite frankly, they spent a lot of time, and I'll say that in the other meeting, working on the projects here too, with the generators and whatnot, but they've done some really nice work and saves us money, and we really appreciate their efforts for that. Sorry, that's all. I wanna forget that.
All right, thank you. I'll make sure it gets passed on to them.
And I'm gonna repeat that in the next meeting, or the council meeting. Okay.
All right, then we're old business.
Yeah, we're back to the change order. So that's greatly reduced from the first one. They do break down per house how much the costs are at the bottom of it. One house didn't have any cost at all, so that's why there's only 4. The driveway is still more than I want, but it's the best we can get. They do only use union contractors, so we have the site services is doing the driveway for this one. That's why it's what it is, but this is still cheaper than purchasing right away from everybody. Quite frankly, much shorter time period. So it still worked out, I think, quite in our favor. The neighbors are all very happy with what we're doing. That's also a plus, so. So this change order amount is $39,826.20. And then I'm gonna repeat what I did a minute ago, so I keep track of these on a spreadsheet, just because it's easy, and if you ever need a copy of it, you can ask me, I've got. But that's the whole change order, this is the parts that go with it,
Right.
and it's change order number 3. And I was trying to define in my notes, there's some time and materials for other work that'll come back later too. But that's been negotiated with all the neighbors, and I appreciate all the negotiating we had getting that done. It's a much better process than getting 2 appraisals for each one, which cost you money, and then going through the right-of-way process, so it still saves us money.
I did have a question
Yes, sir.
about the force main.
Mm-hmm.
So why was that so difficult to find? Like why?
Well, that's a
is that?
really good question.
Okay.
It's plastic. So if you built it today, you'd put a tracer wire on top, and then you can find it, boom.
Mhm.
Some of them are ductile iron pipe or metal pipe. Again, you can trace those real easy, or at least easier. We had ground penetrating radar done on that 2 or 3 years ago. And that's I'm not a fan of that. You get a fuzzy drawing, and then they took literally like a Sharpie and drew a line along the side of the road.
Yep.
So that's what we used for the engineering plans. In reality, it's not quite where the Sharpie shows, and where the pipe, I'm trying to do this, where the pipe comes and hits the ditch,
Mhm.
it crosses that force main, and it's actually twice as far. You have to take it out and replace it. We ended up closer to 90 feet instead of 45 feet. So
Okay.
I don't like to disparage all the engineers, but they usually are sitting there looking at a screen and drawing lines on it, and then when you dig a hole, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Because where you see stuff, it's like, John and crew spent a lot of time digging down trying to find this force main, because it's supposed to be here and it's not quite where it's supposed to be. So they dug several holes in the ground with this vac truck, which just shoots water in and you suck it back out, and you're standing in a hole 6 feet deep while you're doing it. So they did an amazing job to find that force main, but it ended up being, it's probably close to 90 feet, between 85 and 90 feet. And they keep track of all that, so when they go back through, we'll know how much it is for the extra 45 feet. But there's a unit cost, as Eric would ask. There's a unit cost for that, so that's what they charge us, just 45 more feet times the same number
Okay.
to put it in. And it's done. It's all
Okay.
finished, it's all done. Public Works guys again came out, shut off the lift station, had the vac truck on hand in case they needed to vac anything. Did all that. Again, you know, we pay their salaries, but we didn't have to pay the contractor for that, so
Okay.
saved us a lot of money already. That help?
We have an idea how much,
Yeah, that does.
how much that's gonna be as an extra change order?
45 feet? I could actually tell you tomorrow. It's the unit price. Yeah, it's just gonna be double that unit price.
Yeah,
I can tell you what it is tomorrow. I didn't bring it with me. But yeah, that's easy to figure out. But that's a good question.
That's all I have on that.
I appreciate the question.
Oh, so, yeah, my other question I had on the change order too was, so this is, a lot of this is the restoration.
Yeah.
Now, we're gonna get into,
So the restoration normally is grass.
right,
So that one's got, you see the no
no, right,
mow seed mix? That was the gentleman that gave us the easement through that property requested that, because he doesn't want to have to mow it. So that's an extra, and the other stuff's just regular restoration. That was separate for this easement
so
section.
that's just for one easement section?
That's that long section that goes from the stop sign all the way to the first house. That whole big ditch in there. It goes from South Bailey all the way to the first house around the corner. Yeah, that was saltier than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
Seed mix. Yeah. But that's the big open ditch section.
so will they get all that done, you know,
Before it snows?
right?
Yeah. So if for some reason they don't get everything planted, then we just hold money till spring and then finish that in spring. Because we'll pay out the ARPA funds first, so
Right.
that that's all wrapped up by the end of the year. So if there's anything they can't finish because of that, then we'll put temporary erosion control down and then finish seeding in the spring. But they're moving faster than I thought they were, so I don't think it's gonna take 2 months from when they started. I think it's gonna be shorter than that. So, well, we're all hoping it doesn't start snowing in the middle of October.
Yeah,
And there's some bushes and shrubs in there, mostly, but the driveway and the seeding are the two big items. The other stuff, everybody's happy about.
all right, so we have to approve North Bailey change order number 3. Look for a motion to approve North Bailey change order number 3 in the amount of, what was it, $39,826.20.
I'll make the motion to approve change order number 3.
I'll second the motion. Any other questions for Mike regarding change order number 3? Hearing none, all in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
That's all I got.
No new business. Any board comments?
I have no comments.
I have no comments. Look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.